Les cartes disent la mort, et moi j'ai vu le cancer. Elle est perdue. 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 Elle est perdue.
Oui, j'ai compris.
There are moments in life we remember until our very last day, where our entire identity is put into question and we ask ourselves who we are and if the person we see in the mirror is the one we wish to become. Characters in film are projections of ideas we have of life and of being human. By observing how they deal with their lives, problems, and relationships, we grow, because they answer questions we have asked ourselves. They become a part of our experience and therefore shape us. Cleo from 5 to 7 has no traditional narrative nor character arc. So how does Agnès Varda depict change? The generating event of the story happens before the film time, a medical examination. So the film starts with an existential crisis. Cleo is waiting for a biopsy result. Let's be Cleo's therapist just for a moment. The emotional starting point is anxiety. Going to a fortune teller to inquire about your health is a desperate move. Cleo's inner voice suggests escapism.
Être laide, c'est ça la mort. Tant que je suis belle, je suis vivante et 10 fois plus que les autres.
She breaks down in front of Angèle, her assistant, who is actually more of a mother figure.
Mais elle a besoin qu'on la protège, c'est une enfant.
Notice what happens next.
Allons, madame, Cléo, ma petite fille.
This is arguably the lowest point for Cleo in the whole film. Her absent lover pays her a visit, making empty promises and telling her she's faking her illness for attention. The musician ridicules her talent and states she needs them if she wants to stay successful. Cleo is surrounded by people who don't take her seriously. She feels utterly alone, unloved, and misunderstood. She trusts no one and nobody is allowed in.
Tout le monde me gâte. Personne ne m'aime. Personne.
From the beginning of the film to this point, Cleo is dependent on everyone else but herself. On the doctor to fix her, her lover to come back to her, the fortune teller to save her, Angèle to take care of her, on the musicians to keep her successful, on signs and omens to guide her, on the men to validate her, even on her looks to stay alive. Do we empathize with her or judge her? Is she always this vain, needy and childish? Or is this all just a coping mechanism, understandable behavior in one's darkest hour? From a certain angle, our heroine embodies all the stereotypes that men traditionally subject women to. But not for long. About halfway in, change seems to come about. The catalyst for this is also the emotional peak of the film. The musicians present Cleo a new song that is untypical Cleo. It talks about dying, pale, ugly and alone.
Seule, laide et livide, sans toi, sans toi.
The song pushes all her buttons and she explodes.
Sans toi.
What happens next is pivotal for her transformation.
Caprice.
Caprice, caprice. Vous n'avez que ce mot-là à la bouche. Mais c'est vous qui faites de moi une capricieuse. Tantôt je suis une idiote, une incapable, une poupée de son.
Redesigning her relationships.
Vous vous servez de mes nerfs, vous m'exploitez. Allez-vous-en.
Calling out on the musicians for exploiting her and telling them to get lost takes courage.
Je me mets en noir. Pour vos chansons, je serai dans la note.
Changing into a black dress suggests accepting and preparing for death.
Seule laide et livide. Voilà.
She owns up to her fears. Taking off her wig, like a snake sheds its old skin.
Cléo, je vous rappelle que c'est mardi. C'est mardi, zut, je fais ce qui me plaît.
Breaking free from Angèle and her controlling rules of superstition is a step towards adulthood and independence. Maybe she realizes that only by confronting her fears can she stop letting them control her.
Cette figure de poupée est toujours la même. Les chapeaux ridicules. Je ne peux même pas lire ma propre peur. Depuis toujours, je pense que tout le monde me regarde et moi, je ne regarde personne que moi. C'est lassant.
Cleo's tired of her old self, and she's now ready to discover her values and strengths. As someone wise once said, you can't do the same things and expect different results. In the last act, Cleo chooses to be vulnerable and shares her worst nightmares with a total stranger she meets in the park. It's interesting that Antoine then opens up too, telling Cleo about his own impending death and fears as a soldier in the French-Algerian War.
Cette énorme peur de mourir.
Si vous étiez avec moi en Algérie, vous auriez tout le temps peur alors.
Quelle horreur.
Moi, c'est plutôt mourir pour rien qui me désole. Donner sa vie à la guerre, c'est un peu triste.
It seems like through sharing about their death anxiety, they find something in common, an understanding, a connection.
Eh bien voilà, on est deux, dans une bulle. Ça va mieux?
At this point of the film, Cleo is in a very different emotional place. She doesn't seem lost anymore. With this newly found strength, they decide to confront fate at the hospital, together. No more waiting, but taking action. This shows best the growth she has gained in the process. From the state of passivity, the heroine becomes active and willing. From a child to an adult, from isolation to connection. Cleo takes a final step towards authenticity when she reveals her real name for the first time.
Mon nom c'est Florence, mais on m'appelle Cléo pour Cléopâtre.
At the end of the film, Cleo finds serenity when receiving the news that she does have cancer.
Il me semble que je n'ai plus peur. Et il me semble que je suis heureuse.
Indeed, a 180 degrees change. Varda plays with our perceptions of Cleo. First, we're led to believe she's a clueless, agency-lacking Barbie girl. Then we learn we read her all wrong. In the hour of truth, her true character comes out. One could even argue that Cleo doesn't change at all, that she only appears to be one person in the beginning and another one at the end. Varda paints a complex picture of the human condition. We're at all times weak and strong, fragile and resourceful, beautiful and ugly, childish and mature, needy and autonomous, alone and connected, yin and yang beings, ever oscillating between life and death, love and war, fear and hope. Varda's vision is empowering. Change requires effort. It does not come when we idly wait for it. It's an inside job. We all have what it takes to successfully deal with hardships: courage, faith, acceptance, and love. When we become willing to go through the pains of life, we learn, we grow, and we heal. And hope wins.